Hello and welcome to AV Tiles and Sanitary Kollam, the authorized dealer for Kajaria tiles in the city of Kollam in Kerala. Today our episode deals with this small thing. It's called a spacer. Many of us are familiar with it, but those who are not, this episode is very important and watch it very carefully. These spacers are an inherent part of any tiling work, and when these spacers, this plus shaped normally plastic objects, when these are placed in between the tiles while they are laid, they serve two purposes. The first purpose is that this gap which is created, this allows water to seep in so that the water can cure the cement lying beneath the tile with which it is attached. And the second purpose is that it gives a certain aesthetic to the floor. We know tiles are always in a geometric shape. It will either be rectangle or square or hexagonal. So the spacer lying in between enhances that geometry of the tile. Now let us try and understand the technical use of these spacers. Now what you see behind me is a 60 centimeter by 60 centimeter tile, and here you see the lines. These are spaced to 3 millimeter gap. So these spacers that you see, these yellow objects, these are calibrated to 3 millimeters. So everywhere these lines will lead, and the lines will be equidistant with 3 millimeter space exactly. Now why this space is important is because this tile, if laid on the floor, will be laid using some sort of cementitious grout. Now every cementitious material or anything that uses cement needs curing, and the duration may go from 3 days to 15 days. In case of RCC, as the thickness increases, the duration of the curing also increases. In case of these tiles, let's say 3 to 5 days of curing is sufficient. But then you have only this much gap, and the water should seep in and reach up to the center. That is the aim. No matter how much water you put in through these gaps, the water won't reach on the single day. It will not reach the center, or it will not drench the whole material up to the center. So this water moves slowly and progressively each day. So the first day's curing will bring the water up until here. The second day's curing will bring up to here, and this goes on, and maybe 5 days time the whole cementitious product which is lying beneath this tile will get drenched and will start getting cured, and that is very important for the long life of your flooring. So this is the technical use of these spacers. Now as the tile size increases, you have to increase this gap also, because let's say this is a 60 centimeter tile. Now if you are using a 1 meter by 1 meter tile or 1.2 meter tile, which will be like equal to the 4 tiles you are showing here, now the water has to reach from here to here. So now you have to increase the size to at least 5 mm. Now the 5 mm will get or gather more water and let it pass that water every day up until it reaches the center. So I hope you understood this principle, and next time you are in a flooring situation, or if you are using you are doing a flooring, make sure that the spacer is of appropriate size and you are doing the curing right. So now let's move on to the second aspect. Now let us try and understand the second part, that is the aesthetic part of the spacing. Now this floor or the tile that you see behind me, this is a floor tile, and currently it is been put up in a bathroom format for the bathroom. And how you can see is that you see some robustness on this wall. This robustness comes because there is not only the beauty of the tile on the wall, but there is also a square geometry which is seen here. Now psychologically, our mind is always looking for some sort of geometry when we are looking at man-made objects, and I am not going into the details of the psychological part, but the aesthetic part is that not only the surface, suppose you like this tile for its color, or you like its color which is ocean blue color, and you also like the unfinished floor look which is very contemporary. Now you selected these tiles for these two reasons, but then the fact that it is spaced and the geometry of the tile is visible, that lends it the final touch, or let's say the salt in the curry as far as flooring goes. So I hope you got this also. Now let's go to the third part, which is the grouting part of the tile. Let's try and understand the third part, which is the grouting part. The floor that you see right now, it has a white tile and a black lines. Now that is the extreme contrast. The biggest contrast in this world is black and white. So that is the one end of the scope of what can be done with the grouting to the tile. Now the extreme opposite end will be to put white grout in the white tile. In that case, the geometry will not be visible so much. So that is as simple as that. Now you have to decide how much you want to separate these geometry from the tiles level. So the more contrast you create, the more the geometry will enhance from the floor. Some customers like the tile to look seamless. In that case, they should go for the same color grout. But some like it to attract someone's attention, someone else's attention or their own attention. In that case, you have to increase the contrast of the flooring. So grouting is generally a very easy thing if you focus on it. All you have to decide is how much you want the geometry to be visible when somebody looks at the floor. So I hope these 3 points have brought in some insight to this very boring subject called tile flooring. Keep posted for more such informative videos on our YouTube channel and try to get us more subscribers. Share with your friends and goodbye for now.